Visit kccars.com for details.
Welcome back. It's Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kirk, Elliott, I'm Scott Traylor in the McCarthy Auto Group studios in Independence, Missouri, and it's time to talk about something that's near and dear to the heart of the local racing community as well as McCarthy Auto Group. And who better to talk about McCarthy Auto Group than our friend Karl Kramer from McCarthy Auto Group. Karl, how you doing, my friend?
We are doing really good. How about yourself and Kirk?
We're just doing fantastic here this morning. We're as the summer gone, Karl.
Right.
Too fast.
Right.
It just keeps on flying.
It really does. And folks, take advantage. Only a few days left on the annual 2000 sale event. Again, trying to raise $20,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation. I know you guys have done some great stuff with that, but we're here to talk about another charity. And Karl, I know, and I'm not just blowing your skirt up here a little bit, but you guys continue to do what's right for the community and the motorsports community especially. And what of its own right now is at a great battle, has this horrible disease. Dalton Kirk's dad, who races at Lakeside and Central Missouri Speedway, Rob, he's a fireman. He's battling a terrible disease, and McCarthy's is going to step up and try to help Rob Kirk out.
Well, and we're just like the Make-A-Wish involvement. We're not going to try. We're going to do it. And this is very little about McCarthy Auto Group. I appreciate the props for what we do. We think it's the right thing for the community. It's no obligation, but we think it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm the spokesperson for a group of 20 volunteers that Mike Shaw with McCarthy Auto Group is heading up in support of Rob Kirk, and appreciate the opportunity to be on with you guys today. Tell a little bit about the event. You said I got about an hour and a half, right?
Right. Well, we'll narrow it down to about 12 minutes if you can do it. But
right.
We'll take all the time. We got to roll over to hour number 2. We'll do so, Karl. So just take all the time you need, bud.
So a lot of great efforts, a lot of great community leaders in Gardner, a lot of folks from the fireman community, as well as the racing community, Kansas Motor Speedway. They're all coming together to do what we think is the right thing to do for Rob Kirk, Glenda, Dalton, and his sister. It's just the right thing to do. And how I frame it up is, you know, Rob is a very humble man. And when he was diagnosed and they finally figured out that cardiac sarcoidosis is what he needs treatment for. And there's a group of people that are from his own doctor to international renowned specialists in Florida and the folks in the Mayo Clinic. They're going to converge for a surgery that's now been set for October to help him get better. And so what we want to do is we want to help because this is an out-of-network medical need, and we want to help offset those medical expenses. And again, Rob being a humble guy, it's hard for him to look for help. And I completely respect that. But as I see it, Rob has been paying it forward.
Absolutely.
Just as the good man he is, with Lakeside or other racing involvement with Kansas Motor Speedway, and with the fireman community I've been part of for so many years. Now, as we see it, it's our turn to give something back to Rob, and that's why we think is the right thing to do. And so real quickly, we have assembled the team here, a great event on Saturday, September 12th. Appreciate Ron Stricker. He's going to be the auctioneer to head things up, and the focal point on September 12th is going to be Stricker's Camping Store. And this is a family event. There's no alcohol. We honoring the family's wishes as we plan this, and it's a family event. It's going to start at 1:00 there at the camping store with food. We got to give some love to Lolly with Blazer Burger and the folks with Price Chopper donating, I think, most all of the food for the event. So we're going to start with some food there at 1:00. The auction and raffles should begin right around 2:30. And we want to make sure that everybody stays close to the Facebook page that we've assembled to message about the event, talk about the medical needs that Rob's going through. So if you just go to Facebook and you type in support Rob Kirk, the page is going to pop up. And I need to say also thank you to both yourself, Scott, and Kirk, because you guys did a really nice video that we pushed out yesterday morning. And since yesterday morning, we have nearly 10,000 views of that post. So you guys are definitely some of the conduit that we're able to get that message out there. And so we definitely appreciate that. I know Glenda and the family were really, really touched by your message, so we appreciate that.
Could we go in a little? Can you talk about the detail of this disease a little bit, and how unique this is, and a rare disease that he has, and this is a pretty serious deal that he's having to go through. I know that he's tried some medicine therapy, and he didn't show any improvement in that. I believe he's going to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota on the 18th of October. But can you talk a little bit about what the funds are going to go towards in this disease itself?
Well, I don't know a great detail about the disease other than one most important parts about it is there's no known cure. There's our management of it, and that's what the surgery is going to do there in mid-October, is help manage the disease and how it's impacting now his heart. So all the 100% of the funds that we raise, because there's a U Caring site as well. There's a bank account and the U Caring site, and all the funds are going directly to help offset the medical expenses for the treatment that Rob is going to receive at the Mayo Clinic. So that's what, none of these funds are going for any personal benefit or covering expenses. They're all going directly to the family for those medical expenses. And we got a great list of auction items thus far that have been donated. We've got Dave's son, Dave Fesmeyer from Sign Here in Gardner. He's donated a vehicle wrap for a metal car,
cool.
A modified car and such. That's a great item. I want to get out to all the race fans. He's donating that, and Gary Josman has offered some donations. There's several guns. They're going to be part of the donation items. Tickets for Kansmore Speedway, Royals games, Chiefs games, autographed football by Eric Berry. Very inspirational story this year, so that's going to be a great item. And we definitely want to reinforce. I think we've got 40-ish or so items so far, which is pretty quick. But we want to get a whole bunch more because, again, the goal is to raise a lot of money on Saturday, September 12th. So Mike Shaw is going to be the one that's kind of, again, he's leading the group. And his phone number, as we have the need to get auction items or contact information, is 913-515-8731. Again, 913-515-8731. Get a hold of Mike for any items or services that want to be donated for the event. Mike will be helping coordinate all those items. And yes,
I was going to say, and if people can't remember that, they can go to the page, support Rob Kirk, or if you don't have access to the internet and you want to reach out to RacinBoys, you can look us up as well. We'll make sure that if you want to make a donation, we can get you that information. And people can write a check right now if they can't make it to the event, and we hope that they do, and we hope that they spend a lot of money when they show up for that. But if they'd like, they could write a check and write in the memo, noted special account to Rob Kirk Fund, P.O. Box 113, Gardner, Kansas. That's zip code 66030. And they can find that information on the Rob Kirk page as well.
You got it, yes. And I appreciate you guys supporting it. We're going to post this on all the McCarthy Auto Group Facebook pages as well. But definitely the one core area is the Facebook page that supports the event, because it's going to be a great family atmosphere to support Rob and his family there on the 12th. And again, we want to get a lot of items that we can auction off as well as raffle off. And one thing I don't want to forget this morning is, so Mike Shaw sent me the information late last night for the 6 locations in Gardner where people effective Monday can go and purchase raffle tickets that they can then, and they can purchase more raffle tickets the day of the event. But Stricker's Camping Store, Blazers Restaurant, again, Wally's donating food, Sign Here, Marvin's Tow Service. Marvin's a very big supporter of this. Big O Tire. Big O also donated $1,000 gift certificate for the auctioned off. And then finally, Express Phillips 66. Those are the 6 locations where you can go in Gardner to purchase raffle tickets for items to be drawn for the that Saturday, September 12th. So,
Karl, could you repeat again? This is Saturday, September the 12th at 1 o'clock, and where is this going to be located?
So it's going to be at Stricker's Camping Store. For those of us that are very familiar with Gardner, I mean, he holds his auction right across the street at his auction house. But right across from that is Stricker's Camping Store in Gardner, Kansas. It's all going to start at 1 p.m. there on Saturday, September 12th.
Well, we hope that people bring a lot of cash out there, and let's rally around Rob Kirk, and let's, like you said, Kirk, Karl, I should say, you said it best. He's been paying forward for a long time. You think about, the hazards of being a fireman out there in Gardner and what you've got to do to protect the public, and then as well as being one of our own in the local racing community, why wouldn't we help Rob Kirk? I think this is great. Again, they can go to the Facebook page, support Rob Kirk. You'll find it, find out more about what's going on the 12th. And, Karl, we're going to remind people we get a little bit closer. We'll have you back on and talk about it one more time and maybe give everybody a little bit of an update on maybe some auction items that we weren't aware of today.
Well, we are definitely going to keeping on in gathering up auction items to raffle off. There's a lot of people that have reached out to us as we started the message here just within the past week that have said they're going to make some donations. So there's definitely going to be some additional opportunities for to message about more items, and appreciate the help you guys are doing. Your big help in getting the word out. And for something on a short leash like this, it's really important to have good partners like yourself to help push out the message. So we definitely appreciate that, and I know I speak for Rob and Glenn and the family that they appreciate that as well. And Rob's been a very good influencer, not only in Lakeside and other local grassroots, but also what he's done to help set up the fire safety there at Kansas Motor Speedway. So he's a very big contributor across the community. So we definitely are very happy to get back to him.
For all of our listeners that are listening around the Midwest, and we know we're not talking just people here in the Kansas City area right now. We know we've got people in Knoxville, and we've got people down south as far as Tulsa listening right now. Even though you might not be able to make it to the event, again, go to the page, make a donation, send a check, and let's support somebody that supports motorsports and a good guy as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a big turnout. He was a big part of the Gardner community as well as all across the racing community here in the Kansas City area.
Yeah, no doubt. Karl, thanks so much. And again, we'll have you on a few days out before the event. We'll give everybody an update on what some of the auction items might be, okay?
That sounds great. We really appreciate it.
All right. Karl Kramer
Karl.
from McCarthy Auto Group. Again, find out more about McCarthy Auto Group at kccars.com. But more importantly, go to support Rob Kirk on Facebook. Find out more about this disease and more about the man himself. And let's rally around Rob as a family, the motorsports community. And let's, even if you're not a part of it, say you live in Gardner and you've had to use the fire department for whatever reason. Maybe your house has been on fire. Maybe you were in an accident, whatever the case may be. If you've needed the fire department out in Kansas City, out in Gardner, Kansas, then maybe you can make a donation to this guy that has been a public servant to that area as well.
Yeah.